Bloody hell. Kingstonian 3-2 winners here at Dartford in the fourth qualifier in the FA Cup. Hayden, was that the game you expected it to be when we were 3-0 up after 35-40 minutes?
Well, funnily enough, I was still complaining that we were too loose. I thought that without the ball, we were a little bit stretched, and when you had the likes of McQueen and Wanadio, there's the potential to cause problems. Hence, you guys probably didn't see, but when we went 3-0 up and everybody's celebrating in the corner, I'm running into the corner and saying, no celebrations, you need to get back in. But that's the difference between the players and the manager, of course. But then it becomes, for me, it becomes really frustrating whereby the emotions have taken over and you've really got one foot in the next round and suddenly you hand them a goal. Yeah. So we had to work too hard in the second half. But still, doesn't matter now.
I was going to say, I realised it was probably an unfair question to start with. What we should be saying is, congratulations. I mean, how proud are you of the team to come to a place like this and, for pretty comfortable for quite a lot of that game?
I'm really proud of the team. I'm really proud of our work. As I've always said, I'm proud to be here, privileged to be here. And this is the reason why I come here. This is just the start for Kingstonian. I've said it from day one. Hopefully the supporters can see a marked difference in what they had seen in the past without paying any disrespect intended. And hopefully they can see a team that is improving and improving and improving and improving. I said to the players today that we're looking into our future because I want this to be a league game.
What was it about the performance today that most pleased you?
Well, it's a really good question. I mean, obviously, to come to a National South team with a new manager, with something to prove, with good players, and be 3-0 up within, 25, 30 minutes is amazing. But perhaps you'll look back and you'll see that there's no point having a technical ability unless there is a resilience and a desire and a spirit. And I think I will always look back on this and I see a group of players that fight for the club, they fight for each other, and the spirit and commitment that they offered the pitch today was unbelievable.
Second half in particular, it seemed like ended up with a bit of the walking wounded, with players just about hanging on all over the field. Yeah. Do you want to talk us through kind of the changes that had to be made? And I think there was a bit of surprise when Dan Thompson comes on and you're leaving Louis on as well. What was the thinking there?
The thinking is that I still couldn't see them really breaking us down. And if you look back at the game and if you take the emotions out of the game, how many times did they really carve us open in the second half? Not much. I thought the biggest threat was tired legs kick in. That means needless free kicks kick in. And there's no question they were a threat from set plays. Now, one thing that Reece will give us over the left-hand side is a discipline. Louis drops in on Billy Crook just to shadow him. And then suddenly we create a vacuum in midfield where he's shutting them out. So then you have to take it to the next level and think, okay, how are they going to score? Well, there's a possibility from free kicks. So really, if Dan comes on, he adds the extra height. Yeah. You keep Louis on, so we maintain that height.
Seems to make a lot more sense now you've said it than it did when we were worrying behind the goal, for sure. The back line, I mean, it's kind of, over the last 6 weeks, that's been the area that's changed the most. And you've got young Jerry playing there, he comes off injured, then Tutu has to come on. You've got Sean Clohessy basically just coming back from injury. I mean, how good was their showing back there?
Superb. Individually and collectively, these guys have been superb, but I think that the team have been superb without the ball for a number of weeks now, and we're a little disappointed with the goals that we've conceded today, but it's cup football and it really was a cup tie, wasn't it? Where sometimes the normal rules go out of the window. But you look at the back players, and I look at their characters and the character of Sean Clohessy and the character of Fabio Saraiva and the character of Ollie Cook and Tutu and the character and desire of young Jerry to make a name for himself in football. That makes them difficult to play against. They're good players, but these guys have hearts like lions, and they will fight for you and they die for you. And again, that makes a big difference. They're defenders in Cookie, in Tutu, in Jerry, for example. That they enjoy defending. And so when everybody else is a bit frazzled, they're like quite happy. It's what
Have you ever known a game where the opposition has had so many free kicks on the edge of the area? I don't think I've seen anything like it. I felt like there were 5 or 6 free kicks on the edge of the area, and for their first goal, if the rest played advantage, but they would have had another one there. What was it that caused that? Is it just they're playing, the majority of the game is happening outside of our area, or?
I think there's 2 things. I think when you move up another level, I'm not suggesting that they were buying free kicks, but I am suggesting that they are a little wiser to how to win free kicks in those areas. And the message that I gave the team at half time is that if we're going to develop into a really outstanding team, in games like this you have to take the emotion out of it. You have to be calm, you have to be concentrated, you have to be organised, you have to be clinical. And if you are like that, then suddenly the rash challenges stop. And we to be honest, we weren't any of that today. But we had a group of lads that played with their heart, and sometimes their heart overruled their head defensively. So they were putting their bodies on the line and probably causing a few issues along the way.
You said to me on Wednesday night, I think somewhere between Dan Thompson's run, thunderbolt, and Callum Davis's overhead kick, that we only scored good goals. How pleased were you with the first 2 goals this afternoon? And a volley from Reece Hall where it just didn't look on at all, and then brilliant play from Dan Hector down here actually, and then really calm from Louis. How pleasing were those 2? Yeah,
really pleasing. I've joked with you before, and it's a standing joke with clubs that I've been at. I hate non-league football. I genuinely hate non-league football. And it's important to me that the product is nothing to do with non-league football. And if I look at the goals that we've scored this week, they're nothing to do with non-league football. I mean, the technique and the execution of these goals, and even if you look at Tom Kavanagh's 5th goal on Wednesday, the approach play, do you know what? You're going to be hard pushed to find better goals than that. It's in this level and in this level as well, the National South. But that's what I want, and that's what the players have bought into. And as I did on Wednesday and last week, you have to give immense credit to the players that they have bought into what I want, and they're working so hard to execute the idea.
Before the 4th qualifying round, you said you wanted a winnable game. Turns out you were right. Look ahead to the first round draw on Monday. Do you want to be playing a team that will get us through that we can beat and get through to the second round? Obviously, you'll believe we can beat anyone, or do you want your Sunderlands, your Portsmouths of this world?
Yeah, I want the Sunderlands and the Portsmouths. Because the players deserve it, the supporters deserve it, and the club deserves it. And I've experienced this before, which will hold us in good stead, I think, this time around. And
I think there's 7 of that team. I had a look the other day. 7 of that team from Merstham against Oxford, I think, are in the squad at the moment, basically.
And we're going to be ready, but I like a draw where we can always look back on this season and say, wow, what a first season that was. We've only got to play Portsmouth at Fratton Park, for example.
Yeah. And just briefly to finish, speaking of cup draws, obviously there was another cup draw this week, and we play our landlords in the FA Trophy. What do you make of that?
It's going to be another great game. I know Corinthian Casuals have had a difficult start to the league season, but that won't mean anything in that game. There's an intense rivalry between the clubs. I think the players need to understand the rivalry that there is on the terraces. Yeah, I think it'll be another really good day to remember in what now is already becoming a memorable season.
And if we win that, suddenly we've got fixture congestion, because we'd have 3 games scheduled for that day. We'd have a league game, a trophy game, and a cup game would all be on the 9th of November. It's not a problem we've had for a while.
It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. I still want us to focus on the league.
Yeah.
Because I want to really have an excellent first league campaign, and I'm very confident where this team will take us this season. But today is about enjoying the FA Cup, and I'm proud that we're going to take this club to a level where it's not been since the days of Chappell and McDonald and the great names that have given Kingstonian such a marvellous history.
Indeed, and well, as fans, we can only thank you for your part in the continuation of that history. Congratulations. On to Bognor on Wednesday.
Now, do I get a flag now? I must get a flag now. You've got to give me a flag.
That's what he's demanding.
No, seriously, it's my pleasure, and thank you very much indeed.
Nice
and
one.
sorry about the voice.
Most fans have lost their voice, to be fair.